There it goes. Hello, everybody. Surprise, surprise. Another video on the way. This is video number 632. It is December 8th, 2019. Hard to believe we're coming to the end of a decade. It's going to be 2020. All the years that just seem so far away, so far-fetched. For me, at least, being a child of the 80s. But anyway, today I want to touch on a subject that kind of came across my desk, as it were. The thought of relationships, and this is trans-related, but you know, here's the question. Here's the question. Here's the question. Or here's what set this in motion. And I'm going to use air quotes here in a minute. But are people who are in a relationship prior to transitioning and then they maintain that relationship through their transition and afterwards, are they luckier, it's my air quotes, are they luckier than those who are not in a relationship or maybe lose the relationship? And I guess I lost my relationship when I transitioned, so I've been single since I transitioned, since I went full time, actually. But I know people who are in a relationship and maintain that relationship, and they're still, maybe it's changed as a result of the transition. Obviously, maybe someone who, you know, they were in a relationship, let's say, with a man and a woman, and they're not attracted to women. So after the transition, there really isn't like a love relationship or a sexual relationship, but they're still kind of friends. Is that luckier than not? And you know, it's hard to imagine. Obviously, it's hard in that situation. You know, you were in a relationship and you were in love with someone, and one person maybe changed a little bit, and one person can't handle it, so the relationship ends. You know, that's a situation. Or you're in a relationship and from the get-go, you know, I can't handle it, the relationship ends, which was my situation. My marriage ended. But I wonder, post-transitioning, how many, I wonder what the success rate is for being in a relationship or just starting a new relationship. You know, what is that like? You know, I've not been hit on. My friend Dawn was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I think I'm going to have to pause the video here because I'm making dinner, and I'll be right back. Pause. Maybe. Pause. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Sorry for the pause. Don't want to burn the house down. My friend Dawn, beautiful, 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 beautiful woman. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. From her posting and talking to her, it seems like she gets hit on quite a bit by people. And I guess I've not encountered that. So maybe sour grapes on my part. But happy for her. Happy for anybody. But I wonder what the success rate is for post-transitioning, starting a relationship and being in a relationship. You know, out of how many does that relationship begin? And I understand, you know, again, it's life is random enough as it is. Before I transitioned, to find someone, granted, well, to be transgender, maybe it's not a good example. Rewind that thought. For a normal, for a cis person, maybe is what we should say. It's rough odds for a cis person to find someone to be their life partner, their life mate. It's a lot of there's a lot of odds there to find someone. And I was told that transitioning, the pool would be smaller, and so I'm almost wondering at what point are the odds to the point that it's nil. It's not going to happen. And of course, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. I suppose I really haven't thought this thought out. But in the spirit of making videos off the fly, if you'll bear with, what are the odds of finding someone who you have something in common with that's going to love you and accept you for what it is? What are the odds? Just from a relationship point of view, I've tried a lot to try and meet people, and John Lennon has said that life is something that happens to you while you're trying to do something else. And maybe that's how this relationship thing is going to work. I'm going to be doing something else. I'm going to meet somebody. I met someone tonight. I was at the Games Workshop store building my new army, or building an army, and talked with someone, and it was just a cool conversation. And maybe that's how it's going to happen. I don't know. Some of the people that I've met since I've transitioned, and you do D&D or something else, and turns out they're gay, and they're not interested in women, so they're not interested in you. So I don't know. But anyway, just a weird question. And like I said, I found myself the other night. We were at the support group meeting, and someone was talking about how they were in a relationship, and maybe some, and I imagine you could have trials and tribulations no matter what you do. You could meet somebody, and you'd be in a relationship, and you would have all the normal ups and downs with a relationship and meeting someone and going through the honeymoon period, getting to know them. Again, ups and downs. I mean, why would being transgender be any different, right? So, but anyway, I found myself talking to someone who's whose marriage didn't end, but they're still in a relationship, and I guess I find myself a little bit jealous of that, that I'm single, and as the song goes, whatever will be, que sera, sera. The future's not ours to see. We don't know. Definitely, from a probability point of view, the more that we go out and do things, if we stay home all the time and we don't go out and try new things, then our odds are, we're less likely, I think, to do that. And that's been something I've been trying to do lately, is to go out and do new things, but also just to do things, to go out. I've started a sea monkey colony. Why not? And still processing planes and whatnot. I got a nice biplane back there. I've got to process into my new radio. But anyway, I don't know. Just a question. Are we destined to be? Are we destined to be isolated and alone? I guess it's we're more likely to be isolated and alone than to find someone, just from a probability point of view. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try, right? So that's one question. And then my friend Jamie made a really good observation about sex, and how much we wanted to have GCS. We want to have GCS. We want to have GCS. We want to have GCS for gender dysphoria, and then we have it, and it's like our vaginas are like plutonium ridden. Nobody wants to touch them. No one wants to, and maybe that's part of the relationship question too. That I don't know, but I'm curious to find out, again, what is it going to be like, and maybe that's the next step for me, or maybe that's going to happen down the road. I don't know. I don't know. I've not had anyone go to the next step with me. I've not had anyone flirt with me. I've not had anyone. I don't know. I only, my experiences are from the male point of view, chasing after a woman and trying to ask questions and involve myself in their life, and try to find common interests, common ground, and to go from there. And of course, obviously, as transgender, I failed. Did I fail because I was trans and I didn't have I wasn't asking the right questions. I wasn't really the male pursuing the, I almost got married twice, and before I finally got married. So yeah, I guess I must have been doing something right. But, again, did I fail? Did I fail because I was trans and I didn't own up to it? I wasn't honest with myself. Or did I fail because I'm not a good person at building those relationships? And did that carry over now into me being transgender? The society we live in, what are the rules to the game now? Am I going to be pursued? Am I going to be wooed? Am I going to be chased? Is someone going to try and find out what I like to do and get into my life and do whatever else? I mean, it hasn't happened so far, I mean, granted, give me some. It's only been 2 or 3 years. But is that my destiny? Is that, I don't know. But I'd be curious to see what other people think, or what's happening with other people. And, some of the other YouTube channels that I've seen with the hotties, with trans women who pass beyond passing, they could be models. A guy would, I imagine, would be interested in them just from a sexual point of view, because they look feminine, they have the body, they have the voice, they have the temperament, they have the, sexy women. Guys, do they chase them? Do they flirt with them? And what is life like for them? I don't know. All right, my friends. We kind of explored a lot. It's kind of a downer, isn't it? But in a way you're like, well, but I transitioned and I get to be a woman. And that is true. I mean, tonight, when I went to the gaming shop and I sat down at the tables where we were, the building tables, because I was building my army, and it was nice to see the guys come over and make room for me, because you could say, well, they would have done it for anybody because they're nice guys. or courteous guys, courteous people, let's say. But it's nice to think they did it because, I was a woman and to be nice to me. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Turns out the majority of them were gay, just listening by the end of the evening, I was like, oh shit, well, we press on, right? Press on, press on. It's all we can do. So anyway, that's my stuff for this video, and I wish the best of luck, as always, for everyone. I went to church the other night. I've not been, I think I talked about it. I went to Mass, and maybe I didn't make a video of it, but I went to church. I've not been to church in 14 years, and maybe I heard what I wanted to hear, but I heard a lot of peace be with you, and peace and understanding and compassion and whatnot. It's interesting how some religions can take that and turn that into, being judgmental and going after people and trying to convert them because they're not doing what I think God says they should do. But it's interesting to me, again, at Mass, I didn't hear any of that. It was all love your neighbor and love your fellow human, and be peace, and peace be with you. All right, my friends. On that note, best of luck to you, and best of luck in becoming your authentic self as you define it. I'll make one other statement as a closing thought. Do you feel the need to label yourself? Do you feel the need to put yourself into a specific do you feel the need, these are batteries. Do you feel the need to put yourself into a specific container, to label yourself? We were in a meeting and talking to some people, and someone, they felt the need to identify themselves as a certain thing, and it was causing them stress because they wanted to be liberated. They wanted to be something, their own self. And I really made me realize just how much certain people, not like to say certain people, someone specific, but we need to we have this need to classify and to code and to put into buckets, people. And I'm almost wondering now, just what a fallacy that is. Or could it be a fallacy? And you say, well, gender, the gender is a spectrum, and where do you fall on the spectrum? Are you more this way or more that way? I had a friend in Atlanta, Kim McFarland, who played Frankenfurter every week at Rocky Horror Picture Show cast I was on, and she made an observation to someone that what we are could be as simple as being a boat tied to a dock, and the tide comes in and raises and lowers the boat, to whatever they are. And they are what they are no matter where they are. They're still that boat tied to the dock. Maybe that's some freedom to be, Popeye says, I am's what I am, just be yourself. Anyway, easy to say, hard to do. All right, my friends, until next time, best of luck in being your authentic self as you define it. All right, until then, bye. Good luck.